This is the Angel Clark Show.
Welcome back to the Angel Clark Show on RadioFreedom.us. So we're sitting here live at CPAC, and I've got Mike, my RinoRemover, with me. His website is capitalismisfreedom.com. And I got this sudden surprise. While I was talking to my last guest, Mike went over and found Peter Schiff to come and sit and be in the next segment of my show with me. Peter Schiff, this is awesome. I'm really excited. And you know what? I have to take a moment to say, you told me something I had absolutely no clue about, because we were talking about your radio show, and apparently if I go onto your website, I can hear your podcast all day.
That's right. I don't know if it's a podcast, but I do the show live at 10 a.m. Eastern time, which if you're out on the West Coast, it's 7 a.m., but 10 a.m. Eastern. It's a 2-hour show. But if you don't listen to it live, the show repeats every 2 hours. It starts again all the way until the following day when we do the next show. And that you don't have to pay for that. That's just, you can listen for free. If you want to be a premium member, then you can sign up and then you can listen to last month's show. And we strip out the commercials.
Yeah.
So you don't have to listen to, a half hour worth of commercials in a 2-hour show. Yeah. So you can be more economical with your time. But if your time is worthless, so, you can listen for free. But hey, you got a great radio voice.
Oh, well, thank you.
I like it. Not
Thank
that you have a great radio face, because you actually have a television face, but you have a nice radio voice.
Well, here's the thing, though, right? Is like I absolutely love your show, and I never got to, I never really get to listen to it anymore because, my show's 5 to 7, so what I end up doing is I stay up until like 4 o'clock in the morning, and, I do all my work at night, and there's no way that I'm ever up by 10 because I'm Eastern time as well. So now I know I can just go to the website and I can pop it on any time of day and listen to it in the background while I do my work. I'm actually really excited about that.
Yeah, that's great.
So
that's great.
I'm glad that you have that available for us. So tell me, we're here at CPAC, and I see you're wearing a sticker that a lot of people are wearing.
Well, I was wearing 2 of them, but one fell off. But yes, the stickers say, "I stand with Rand."
And I have to tell you, how do you feel about there's like excitement in the air over
There
Rand
is.
Paul.
No, he's an exciting guy. I thought he gave a great speech yesterday. And I think, his momentum is growing. I think the filibuster was great. The I stand with Rand came from the filibuster because he stood for 13 hours. I think it has a catchy ring to it. I think it would work well in a 2016 campaign. Not necessarily a reelect me to the Senate campaign, but a send me to Washington let me move across to the White House out of the Capitol building.
Yeah, he's definitely going for something big, and I'm seeing emails all over that say, stand with Rand and Rand 2016. Ron Paul sent out like a form email like last week, just after the filibuster, that had it had Rand 2016 on it. And so, of course, the first thing that pops into my head is he's going for something big. He's doing a really good job right now at reaching out to everyone that he can. Yeah. And he's alienating some people, but not very many, I don't think.
Yeah. And of course, his Senate seat is up in 2016 too. So, assuming he runs for re-election, he's going to have to be Rand 2016. So it doesn't necessarily mean he's running for president, but it's not Rand for Senate 2016 or Rand for Senate. It is so he can run for any office in 2016 and use that web URL. So.
Yes. So what you're saying is that I'm probably reading too much into it.
No, I don't know that. I do think he has higher aspirations. Look, his father ran for president, so why wouldn't he not want to run for president? And I think he's effective in the Senate to a point, because he can see that he has these ideas and he can't, he wants to balance the budget in 5 years, which I still think is 5 years too long, but it's better than whatever anybody else wants to do. And you can't even get any votes for that. But in the White House with that bully pulpit, a guy like Rand Paul, I think, can accomplish a lot as the president.
I think I think that one of the really important things that we need to see is we need to see some sound money economic appointments, and we need to see some liberty-oriented appointments. And we're not seeing that. We haven't seen that in quite a while.
Look, you're not going to see it from Barack Obama.
Well, obviously.
So that's why he's the president. Who's he going to appoint?
But in all fairness, we weren't going to see that. We weren't going to see that from Mitt Romney.
Well, no, I never said we would.
There was no chance of that.
Well, the appointments would have been much better, and that might have been one of the legitimate reasons to vote for Romney. I voted for Gary Johnson, but certainly certainly his appointments would have been much better because Obama just appoints a bunch of socialists, and so at least Romney would appoint people that worked.
So you prefer slow death as opposed to a quick, painless suicide?
Well, I'd like to die of natural causes, but I'd rather die slowly than die quickly. But if it's painful, so if it's a choice between a slow, painful death or quick, but what we have with Obama isn't quick and painless, this is excruciating agony. So, but no, I mean, I would have voted for Romney. I would have held my nose and voted for him if I lived in a swing state. But I didn't have to do that because I lived in Connecticut and he had no shot, so I was able to vote my conscience. But, I would have rather had a guy like if Ron Paul had won, I would have been able to enthusiastically march into the voting booth and voted for Ron Paul without sacrificing anything. But, I didn't have that. So
you know darn well there was a Republican agenda to shut Ron Paul down. And what I'm afraid
of course,
I thought that was practice for Rand Paul.
I'm
what? Afraid of.
But, little by little, we're going to whittle it down. I mean, sure, they're resisting change. This is a changing of the guard in the Republican Party. And as I said in my panel, it was about the libertarians or the freedom movement and the conservative movement. The freedom movement is the future of the conservative movement. And without the freedom movement, the conservative movement has no future because it's going to die. But, we can't, get upset. There are some people that say, look, let's not be in the Republican Party because of how they didn't play fair. Well, we can't pick up our blocks and leave the sandbox because it's a two-party system. You can go to the Libertarian Party and it sounds great, but it's not going to do anything. It's 1%. Gary Johnson got 1%. Even if he doubled that, it wasn't enough to make a difference, not even to tip the margin. So it's a rigged game, but it's the only game in town. We got to play it. But I think eventually we can overcome these barriers in the Republican Party. And the question is, can we do it quickly enough? Because the time is running out.
But you talk about a bully pulpit, and that's what Rand is doing. That's what we're counting on Rand to do, is create a bully pulpit where people can hear liberty for the first time for some of these people. When I think he called... he said that something with slavery. What was he talking about? All of a sudden, I can't remember.
Well, listen, I tell you what, we're just about out of time for this segment. So what I want to say, actually, is that I don't know if the Republican Party will be able to get away with it as much in 2016 as they were with Ron Paul, because what I've found is that there are so many little old Republican women that just worship Rand Paul. I mean, they absolutely adore him. They think he's gorgeous. They follow him around. It's like the Beatles have come back. So, I don't know that they would really be... He's done a very good job getting people's attention and reaching across the aisle. So I don't think that they'll be able to shut him down as much.
Yeah, no, and I think, a senator, even though he hasn't been in the Senate as long as his father, it's a higher office. I mean, people look at a senator, so he's a sitting senator, and he has all this private sector experience. But unlike Mitt Romney, whose private sector experience was easily vilified because it was in Wall Street, he's a medical doctor. I mean, who cannot like a medical doctor?
Right. All right. Peter Schiff, thank you so much. SchiffRadio.com. The Angel Clark Show will return. RadioFreedom.us.
Angel Clark. This is the Angel Clark Show.